time to get geeked up.
But like always when we have these experts on, we don't just have you on, buddy, to talk about wrestling, or else I would have sat this episode out, to be honest with you. Very special Jordan Liam episode, but we suckered you in to play a game with us, and this one seems up your alley. But kind of like we were talking about how like The Rock is the most famous, I would say, wrestler to Hollywood, so much so that with his show, The Young Rock, he pretty much gets to make up his origin story, right? Like, Liam, you were telling me his old man is a famous rapist that they,
Wait, what?
that they kind of brush over on the show. But
yeah, we've talked about it on the show, but the Rock's dad has a very controversial past, including, arrest for, like, sex with a minor and all sorts of, seedy stuff in, like, the Rocky Johnson history.
I just worked a show with him like 6 months before he passed, so I didn't know that.
Oh, no. You worked the show with him, though? With Rock's dad?
Yeah.
Nice.
I met him. I've met the whole family except for The Rock. I know The Rock's mom. I know The Rock's dad.
Mrs. The Rock?
Yeah. She's in and up. If you keep watching Young Rock, you will see the mom. I've met her a couple of times because she'll totally just be at random shows in Florida.
Okay, nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome that she's just a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
She's like,
they do come from like a historic wrestling family, as they talk about on the show.
Yeah,
but
she'll show up like the dad will only show up if he's booked, but like the mom will just straight up just be there in the audience if you go to like a Miami show or something.
She's one of the Wild Samoan sisters, right? That's like her story. She's like Afa's sister or something. Like then there like The Rock is the nephew of the Wild Samoans.
Peter Maivia's daughter, right? Yeah, Peter Maivia's daughter. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Which is The Rock's granddad.
Nice.
All right, guys, we're losing me again.
Wake up, Devin. Wake up.
But anyway, like you were saying
baby.
about the Young Rock show, that is what is the inspiration to the game time we're going to be doing, though. As last time I was talking about it on the Geeked Up podcast, Devin was pointing out how we never get to hear any of the origin stories for any of the other wrestlers outside of The Rock, a la Stone Cold or Jake the Snake. We never got to find out why Jake likes that snake so much. Or what made him so stone cold.
Yeah.
So
or why Steve Austin is so chilly. But like we said, yeah. So what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be making up our own origin stories for wrestlers. We each took 3 wrestlers, and then to make it easy on me too, we have one bonus celebrity that we'll do at the end. And then of course the way we'll break this down, so you as the listeners get to step in the prize closet. What's going in the game closet without a prize closet? You guys, we're going to whittle it down to one person from each of our lists, and then you, the listener, is going to email us in and let us know the ultimate winner of our young wrestler geeked up origin story, right?
So we're geeked up wrestler origin story.
So we're going to start here with our wrestlers. We'll do kind of a round robin. We'll each do our wrestlers. We'll end with our celebrity. Jordan, you're the guest. I'll give you the option. Do you want to go first, or do you want to let one of us go first?
Shoot, I'll start just to get out of the way.
All right. So your first wrestler, Jordan's first wrestler in the book. Pitch us this origin story, baby.
All right. So I was trying to think. All right. You want to do something cool. You want to do something that's hot. What's hot nowadays? Vampires. Young Gangrel. All right. So
nice.
I don't even know if Devin knows what I'm talking about.
No clue.
I mean, yeah, I guess what we knew about him is that he was a vampire. That's pretty much. He had like vampire teeth.
So you got a lot of different ways you can go for it. How did he become a vampire? That'd be a great season finale, maybe.
Okay.
So ways to work up to it, because you go back and forth. When he's a kid, maybe he's not even gothic. Maybe he's gothic in his teen years, but as a kid, he's a bright, shiny kid. So
I mean, he's probably like 800 years old. So we got a lot of. I've seen In the Shadows. Those fuckers are thousands years old. I mean,
Thank you for adding to the greatness of my show.
He's been kicking people's ass since like the 1700s.
Some episodes are from that era. Some episodes are maybe from,
He was there when wrestling began.
Yeah, like him trying to get booked in the carnival days.
I mean, it does have a great sci-fi crossover, you know what I mean? Like, we can go franchise with this. I'm smelling franchise with this one.
And then another great finale, season 2 finale. And yeah, I got multiple seasons here. He meets Edge and Christian, and then you find out why Edge and Christian came into it.
Yeah, who are both also kind of vampires, but not really. Gangrel was like full-on head teeth, had fangs.
But then later on, they're not brothers, but they start off as brothers. We'll explain everything, man. I just think there's a lot of fun you can have with this.
Yeah, for sure.
Blood.
Definitely, yeah,
There's also-
definitely a nice sci-fi
I love Jake Grell.
backstory
He's
you
a
can
good
get
friend of mine,
into
so
with
I wanted to
Gangrel.
just send him some love.
All right. That's pretty solid, dude. Young Gangrel, the vampire stories.
Vampire Diaries. I think that title's already taken, but
yeah, that's taken. We can't do that, but yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
we're gonna have to go with Basketball Diaries. Fuck, that's taken too. We'll come up with something for Gangrel, but
All right. Leah, what do you think?
I
You
got
next or me next?
oh, yeah, I'll go next. I got one. I'm gonna
Alright.
go to a more traditional wrestler, and from the '90s, of course, from the '80s and '90s, from for us. But I'm actually gonna go with not really known for being one of the greats. In fact, known for being one of the worst. But I'm gonna go for the origin story of the Brooklyn Brawler, who, if you're not familiar, is like the all-time most famous jobber, what they called. But the Brooklyn Brawler was the guy that always got his ass kicked and never won a match on TV his entire life. Like his whole purpose was to make other guys look good. And I'm going to give you the origin story of how exactly, he became such a shitty fighter. All the episodes where he refused to like take karate classes as a kid or weight lift when he's an adult.
Is that the Brooklyn Brawler? Amazing.
Yes, exactly. And it's going to show, but it's also going to be a rather sympathetic tale of what happens from bullying. And it's just going to show his entire life of like little kids in Canarsie picking on him, fucking kids in Sheepshead Bay beating him up, the kids in East New York robbing him. It's going to show his entire life of this poor bastard that moved from like Coney Island to Crown Heights, Red Hook, Greenpoint, Brighton Beach to Bed-Stuy, just getting his ass kicked by everyone in Brooklyn. People beating him up for wearing a Yankee shirt. The kids in Sheepshead Bay picking on him for always having such dirt on his clothes because he would come to ring just in a fucking like soot-covered Yankee shirt. So he's getting picked on.
Help that he looks like a rejected Belushi brother.
Okay, nice. Did you Google him?
Jordan's got it in his background.
Okay, nice. Yes, there we go. I mean, he's getting picked on for having a stain on his shirt, like in the picture there, and we get to find out why he always got picked on and why he was such a shitty fighter. So, the Brooklyn Brawler origin story.
That's pretty good.
I like it.
I like it too. All right, I wanted a little different approach here. All right, so stick with me. I'm gonna say mine is from the makers of Young Rock and directed by Todd Phillips from The Joker comes Young Doink. All right.
Okay, nice. A troubled, disturbed. Yeah, definitely Todd Phillips Joker for sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude, here we are. So young Matt Osborne, who's his name in real life, R.I.P. Young Matt Osborne comes from a family of very serious wrestlers, okay? His dad and mom are both wrestlers, and they take it very seriously. They don't allow any joking in the house. But poor little Matt, though, he's a little goofball, and his parents always cruelly call him a clown, okay? Now, there's also this wrestling trainer named Claude who feels bad for Matt because Claude is a wrestling trainer, but he's a little person, so he's never been able to really get in the ring himself. He's just a teacher. He feels He feels bad for Matt. Just kind of like the little person, the Joker. He feels bad for Matt because you see, Claude is a little person. He can't wrestle in the big leagues, so he trains Matt. And even though he's a little goof, he wants to show his parents he can wrestle like that. His parents come to see his match. Matt loses. His parents ridicule him, calling him a clown once again. Matt loses it and goes home, looks himself in the mirror, and says, "You guys want a clown? I'll show you a clown." Puts on makeup, becoming Doink, wrestles his parents to the death in the ring, and now Claude, the little person who trained him, he feels responsible, so he decides to become his partner, thus creating the legendary duo of Doink and Dink.
So it's a Doink and a Dink backstory.
It is. It is the origins of
Do we
Doink
see
and
the
Dink.
pearls going down the alley when he kills his is it
I
a
just picture
Batman
this little
style
bastard,
Joker
like, you want
killing?
to see a clown? I'll show you a clown.
Nice.
the
I mean,
mastermind Todd
a
Phillips.
dark, disturbed Doink is definite again franchise potential, I'd say.
Young Doink. And then R.I.P. There have been many other Doinks. I was going to go two ways with that, too. I was going to also treat it like a Joker story and be like, he has many origins, Doink. Who knows which one is the true one?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Fun fact that Tiger 2 shows in, Doink was also at one point played by the same guy that played the Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh, no way! Nice. No wonder he took such a down, because when he came in, he was like all agile and athletic, and then by the end, he was just terrible. I guess that's probably when the fucking Brooklyn Brawler took over the makeup. But
Well, they fired the
hilarious.
original guy, and then he overdosed years later. But and then I think the second guy, the original guy, didn't even have Dink. It was added to the second guy.
Yeah.
my only
second guy-
critique of your origin story is apparently somebody never heard of the minis division. Am I right? Midget wrestlers were like more famous than the big guys for fucking like a large portion of wrestling history.
He starts off as an evil clown, and then comes in when he's a good clown. And I think you typecasted Todd Phillips. Other than that, I liked it.
All right. I don't think I was that harsh on you two, but Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh no, I will give you props.
I'm trying to get this made. God damn it!
I thought we were riffing. You had a whole story written. You had your whole season 1 episode blood.
I'm pitching films, baby.
You
All right,
are.
Jordan, you want to do your next one?
All right. 2 words. Hello, ladies. It's
Okay, nice.
Young Val Venus. Now, this was a porn star. There was no ifs, ands, or about it. They would do vignettes, literally, of some of the porns he would be in. He would
Yep.
make his finisher was called the Money Shot. What a wrestling porn star. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of fun.
His shirts said Venus Envy, was like his Austin 316.
At one point, a group of Kai and Tai, he slept with a Yakuza's wife, and they went to chop off his penis. That'd be a great whole season-long episode. So, I think there's a lot of fun, too, of going back to when he's a kid. Maybe he's a really shy, nervous kid, and he's like, I can't talk to girls. And then, that can develop into how he later on this mega
Ron
porn
Jeremy
star.
took him under his wing,
Yeah,
showed him the
in high
ropes
school, all
of
of a
the...
sudden he has puberty, and he in gym class one day someone's like, "Damn, Val," and then he can be like, "Oh, maybe I do have confidence."
How about
And,
this? He was watching those Girl Gone Wild videos and the Backyard Wrestler videos at once, combined the two, the porn star wrestler.
Once again, Liam's here just to add to my greatness. Yeah, I love it. Let's go with it.
That's what we're here for.
I'm the Bruce Pritchard of this team.
This does need to go to Showtime or HBO. So
Yeah, that's
make sure
true.
they-
This is a Cinemax. Is Cinemax still a channel? Are they still doing...
I don't know. Stars does a lot of weird late night stuff. So yeah, maybe Stars with a Z.
I like it.
All right, nice. I guess I'll give my next one, and I'm going to go to another guy. Of course, I'm going back to the 90s, although I'm going to go for this time from one of the losers of the 90s to one of my favorites of the 90s, one of the greats of the 90s. But and we've talked about him on the Geeked Up podcast. But how about an origin story for Sting? All right. Now, I guess there's two Stings.
Isn't the movie The Crow?
Yeah, I was going to say, there is the Sting where the origin story is a guy watched the movie The Crow and then the character. But not that Sting, as we've talked about. But before there was that Sting, before there was the Crow Sting, there's what's called Surfer Sting.
There they are.
Where he was
Surfer
the...
Sting.
Yes, there we go. The one all the way to the left. The blonde, rat tail, baby face
Amazing.
Sting with the neon colors and the bright face paint. But basically my backstory for Surfer Sting, as he's called, is grown up in Venice Beach, California, as we know, but he was actually studying to be an arachnologist, okay, to be a scientist of all things spiders. However, he was a total idiot and failed out of arachno school and ended up listening to the police all day and then decided to make his wrestling career based off of the lead singer of the Police, of course Sting, however looking just like Sting, not intimidating enough, so he added his love of the arachno world and threw a couple of neon scorpions on his ass and called his move the Scorpion Deathlock. And Sting, the blonde hair, fucking police frontman, spider guy, was officially born and took over WCW in the 90s. So, that's my origin story of Surfer Sting.
Surfer Sting, dude, is Surfer Sting Summer.
Yeah. Might be a good miniseries. I don't know if we got the franchise potential of your guys so far, but a good miniseries anyway.
Amazing. Well, I wanted to do this one then, because I want to say in a male-dominated industry, I want to shine a light on the ladies. So here is the story of young China. Okay?
Oh, nice.
So,
Definitely need an origin story for this one.
all right, I'm pretty proud of this one. So young Joni Lauer is the daughter of gamma radiation scientist Bruce Banner Lauer. Now, her dad was working on an experimental gamma treatment trying to fix his bad back. It hurt him all the time. Well, while he was doing this, he was also taking a lot of oxycodone to treat his back.
As you do.
So when young Joni was 18, her father was working on the gamma rays while popping oxys. The rays hit him, killing him, but then blasted Joni, forever changing her to the muscle-bound freak, the Incredible China. Okay? So whenever
that's
she
the
got
only possible explanation for looking like that.
Exactly. Whenever
and
she
Google
got
it yourself if you don't know.
Yeah. So whenever she got very angry, she would become very strong and very horny. Her only kryptonite, of course, if you will, is oxycodone, because that's what her dad was hooked on when she got blasted with the gamma. So now she becomes a wrestler to be a role model to young women using her strength. And then she starts doing porn, to quell her horny side.
Shout out to X-Pac.
Yeah. Years later, she goes on a charity tour to women's rehabs, and the patients are all like, "You can't relate to us, China. You've never done any drugs." And she decides to be their martyr, and she eats one oxycodone, and since it's our kryptonite, it kills her. But she instantly becomes the legend of the Incredible China.
So that was the first and only time she ever took oxy, huh?
Yeah. Misconception.
I
about
swear,
China,
that was the only time.
Yeah. She did sex because it was like her Hulk power. And,
You do realize the Hulk and sex connection, don't you?
I mean, what do you mean?
Oh,
I know
Hogan
she made
sex
sex
tape?
tapes.
No, she also was She-Hulk in a sex tape. Or in a sex video.
Who, China
all I knew
was?
all I knew about was One Night in China.
Yeah, that's all I knew about.
Videos.
Oh, so when she did porn, she actually played She-Hulk?
Yeah. She did several videos that were like officially shot and produced.
So far, I really feel like I'm nailing these. All right,
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
You have a blind analyze feel for wrestling. Your years of geek knowledge are paying off in the world of wrestling. Or is it just that these characters aren't all that creative?
I don't know. I feel like turning China into the Hulk would have been an obvious move, but it's hilarious that the porn guys beat me to it.
I mean, how about is there a Wonder Woman? Is there like a whole MCU spoof of like?
It turns out the Bang Brothers were taking improv classes. But,
I will say, honestly,
so,
one of the biggest like holy shit moments of my life was fucking the size of China's clit in One Night in China. Enough said. We can go on. We can go on to our next characters. However, fucking
right,
1, 2, 3 kid going down on that fucking 6-inch clit was a shocking moment in my life. But
this is a dark moment in the Geeked Up.
I mean, hey, we're talking about the fucking the woman's porn career. I mean, Jesus Christ. Don't shoot the messenger here, folks. Fucking.
Yeah, I don't know about how your show's gonna end, Devin. You're getting kind of dark and sad here.
Well, I guess
turn that one around.
Yeah, to that point, we still each have 2 characters left: one wrestler and one celebrity. And if we all got one wrestler left, it can only get sadder. Jordan, do you want to hit us with your next one?
Yeah, let's try to lift things back up here, man. I'm gonna jump forward a few years now. Wrestler named Eugene. Hi, I'm Eugene.
Okay, nice.
Nephew. You could say he was special needs. I'm just gonna say in my show, he's just a super fan. He's a really nice guy who's obsessed with.
But Devin, if you're not familiar, his gimmick potentially that he's retarded, special needs, mentally challenged. He's basically a retarded wrestler. Just so you know, Devin.
Yeah, no. Jordan said he was a wrestling super fan. I put it together.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll stick with Jordan's way. But in case you're not familiar, for all the geeks out there who might need that clarified.
Amazing.
So yeah, let's just say he's a wrestling savant. He's a wrestling super fan. He's obsessed with it ever since he was a kid. So yeah, a really nice uplifting show. You could have so many cameos if you want here throughout the years. You can even have a crossover episode where he meets a young Rock, or you know what I mean.
Nice.
And what happens? Rock bullies him?
And then the Brooklyn Brawler. We can have some great crossovers here in this one. And I just feel like we needed to be a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely need to take a deeper look into Eugene's life.
It sounds like Life Goes On, starring Corky. You
Sounds a lot like my life, honestly. Special education class, wrestling super fan.
You got young Eugene written all over you.
The young Big LW story, I would say, but but no, Eugene's a good one, especially for a more contemporary wrestler. I guess I've got a more contemporary wrestler. Is Eugene still active in the WWF, Jordan? Is he?
No, he hasn't been around the WWE in years. He is still. I think
He used to work with animals? He was in the World Wildlife Foundation?
he was in WWE for several years, for a few years, yeah.
Okay, I see, but he's not wrestling anymore. But
he still wrestles on the independents, and he does run a wrestling school.
Okay, nice. So still active in the circuit, but I've got a wrestler from the current WWF roster actually going to be on WrestleMania this weekend against two of my faves going against each other for WrestleMania, but Riddle versus Sheamus going on, all right? And I'm going to give the backstory for Sheamus. Okay, we got Jordan. Who's this on here? Is this Eugene with just a random super fan, or...
It's Eugene and me.
Oh, that is you, Eugene. I wasn't sure. Nice. No, those are two wrestling super fans right there. But so I'm going to be giving a background. I'm going to be giving the origin story for Sheamus, all right? 4-time WWF champion, the first Irish champion, all right? He won the King of the Ring, the Royal Rumble, but we're going to give him the backstory, though, as big as, I guess, talking about Eugene and how that was kind of the big LW story, but I guess Sheamus's backstory is that he's actually the evil brother of Big LW. Because my brother's name is Sheamus, so I always feel like Sheamus is. I was associating with my brother, that evil bastard. So it's going to tell the story, and it's going to be a very Kane Undertaker about how I took Sheamus under the wing, took Sheamus under my wing, taught him all the moves, kept him inside playing video games all summer, so he got that ungodly pales look of his. But then he burns the house down, killing poor Big LW. So I have to come back in Kane fashion, only I'm going to come back in using my wrestling alter ego, Jordan, that I was really going to use when I was a high school kid. I looked into going to wrestling school, and I had a dream of becoming a wrestler, and my character was going to be Luscious Liam Whalen. And I was going to be like the ironically fat, like the ironically fat guy that thinks he's all good looking. So this is finally my chance to debut Luscious Liam Whalen, my professional wrestling gimmick, this Sunday in WrestleMania. I'm sneaking into the match, and I'm attacking Sheamus, and I'm going to get revenge. But that was my backstory for Sheamus, Big LW's evil brother.
Okay, now Liam, it's my turn. And we were talking off mic before this, and we were worried about maybe doing the same characters. And I said, there's no way in the world we're doing the same character. And when you were talking about Sheamus, I got very, very nervous, okay? Because you also guys made a joke about when I was talking about young Dink, how I didn't know about little wrestlers. If you remember, didn't Sheamus have a little sidekick himself?
No, not that I know of.
Fellas, I'm going to give you the ancient Irish tale of young Hornswoggle, the little bastard.
Okay, nice.
Okay, now this is a
little teammate, Hornswoggle.
Do you know who Hornswoggle is?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and now I'm going to mix a little bit of my lore with actual WWF, his background. He was also supposed to be like the unrecognized, illegitimate bastard son of Vince McMahon, okay? So that's why he's called the little bastard. He was like a little guy that dressed up as like a little leprechaun. And he was like, oh, Vince, I'm your boy. And Vince was like, no son of mine.
Okay, nice.
So-
I didn't know that part of the story.
Sure.
Okay, well, here's mine. Now stick around because I'm going to give you the ancient Irish tale of young Hornswoggle the little bastard. Years ago, a young Vince McMahon was traveling the hills of Ireland. He came upon a rainbow, and at the end of that rainbow, he came upon a female leprechaun and her pot of gold. He wanted the gold to start his worldwide wrestling federation, and the leprechaun said it was his as long as Vince sired her a child. Thus, young Hornswoggle the little bastard was born. Now,
So it is Vince's legitimate child.
Now, as a half-breed leprechaun/human, young Hornswoggle wasn't accepted anywhere. He decided to master the art of wrestling to impress his father. But when he got to the States, Vince, being the huge piece of shit that he is, denied being his parent, which both broke Hornswoggle's heart and also infuriated him. So he decided to live under the wrestling ring, to be close to his father, to quell his human side, but also would hop out from under the ring to screw up important wrestling matches from time to time.
As a wrestling leprechaun would, I'd say.
Quelling his mischievous leprechaun side, which I guess this is a true bit of his. He would, like, from time to time, would just come running out from under the ring and just, like, fuck a match up, which is amazing.
What else would a wrestling leprechaun do? Lives under the ring, fucking comes out, fuck shit up.
Unfortunately, my friends, as the world has become more PC, old Hornswoggle began to disappear. And but legend says, every St. Patrick's Day, fellas, if you look under a wrestling ring, you just might catch a little glimpse of the impish Hornswoggle, the little bastard.
The old Hornswoggle, the little bastard. Devin's really entertained by the whole little. You got to look into the mini division, Devin. Tiger and all of the.
Hornswoggle was that dude behind Jordan, dude.
Hornswoggle, Dink. There's all sorts of classics.
The things I looked up about this guy too, like one of his stories was that like he was like the bastard son of Vince McMahon, and then two, he claimed to live under the ring, and he would like run out every now and then and would like fuck a matchup or something. I'd be like, oh dude, this is the greatest bit of all time, dude. But dude, he was now like they don't like it because it's little people exposure, like mean to the Irish.
Yeah,
like,
that old dehumanizing. All midgets live under the ring, or
every once in a while they'll prop him out or whatever.
Still, Hornswoggle still exists.
He's popped out like a couple times in the last few years. Yeah,
it's amazing. Is it every St. Patrick's Day by any chance?
Yeah, for real. Every March, around March, perhaps.
Yeah.
My buddy Jerry Rolls just fought him like 2 weeks ago here in like Cocoa, Florida.
Okay, nice.
Hornswoggle or
I believe my buddy beat him.
I mean,
you put him over? Hornswoggle put him over?
Yeah. And he does stand-up comedy, so if you want to book him for your comedy.
Hornswoggle does?
Oh, is Hornswoggle in the comedy game now?
Nice. I had him booked
at tracks.
But he was a little too pricey for the laughing.
That tracks. No, I only write Hornswoggle fan fiction. I feel like we should, we did our wrestlers now. We have a pretty good list here of wrestlers, but to even it out for me, let's all do a one celebrity wrestler backstory. If a celebrity that we like is a wrestler, what would their backstory be? Jordan, if you want to start.
Yeah, Devin, you knew where I was going with this. I got to go with my boy Ben Affleck. He does not get the love he deserves. Just because he's pretty doesn't mean he ain't talented, man. Again, if you're going with the whole multiple, arcs as, when he's this age, you got him and Matt Damon being friends, trying to write that Goodwill script. You know what I mean? Him breaking into, his first bits in uncredited in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, as a basketball player.
They don't even use his voice.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They don't even use his voice in that, dude. Nice. It's him in the court, but his voice is dubbed over.
Fucking A. Did he get his line wrong?
No, the director didn't like his voice. Also, Stephen Root is the principal.
He's the principal, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in a while. Let me some Buffy.
I mean, first of all, he's from Boston, which that covers that territory. Every wrestler needs to have their intro, whereabouts. So we know he's from Boston. Then he also comes equipped with a tag team partner because, like you said, he's got really a whole crew. He comes equipped with an NWO style posse with Casey Affleck, Matt Damon. Who else is part of that crew?
The whole Goodwill Hunting crew.
Yeah, the whole Goodwill Hunting posse.
Kevin Smith pops up all the time.
Kevin Smith.
Yes, exactly.
Plus, I would say now with Ben Affleck's build as the Batman, the Snyderverse build, he's already built like a wrestler. I would go as far as to say that Mike the Miz is the poor man Ben Affleck's wrestler.
I don't know about this, but
That's funny, though. Devin as well did call that you were going to do, because it's very obvious where me and Devin are going with our celebrity, and I guess shout out to the Stephen Root rule on Geeked Up Game Time. But Devin said that he didn't have to, but Devin said that he knew exactly where you were going to go for your celebrity rule.
I'll put it this way, dude.
The Ben Affleck rule.
Jordan's gamer tag is Ben Affleck.
I represent him all the time. You ever run into Ben Affleck on Xbox, Pornhub, any other kind of site?
Yeah, he's either playing Halo or watching She-Hulk porn.
Yeah, right. Has Affleck ever streamed with you? Has Affleck ever saw Affleck on Twitch? I mean, come on.
If I keep the gimmick up long enough, sooner or later he'll hear about me.
Yeah, for real. I mean, fuck. How many other Twitchers are out there under a Ben Affleck alias? Probably lots.
I won't even have my headset in, but it will come to the TV, and I'll just hear people all the time like, Ben Affleck. Like, he's got to hear about me sooner or later.
Yeah, for sure. That's we've talked about it on the Geeked Up as well. That's become huge, the old Twitch as well. But that'll get us into my celebrity wrestling origin story. And like I just said, for at least me on the Geeked Up podcast, I got to go Stephen Root rule on this one. So I'm going to go as my celebrity wrestling origin story. But if Stephen Root was a wrestler, he would, of course, be the Robo-Rooter. Half robot and half Stephen Root. All right. Due to a void of good actors created by Hollywood to get revenge on the world of wrestling, who sent over The Rock and John Cena and Batista and Stone Cold. All the wrestlers came and invaded Hollywood. So Hollywood created a robot wrestler named Robo-Rooter, Stephen Root, to come dominate the wrestling world. And it would, and he would come to ring dressed as his various Stephen Root characters, the guy from Office Space, News Radio.
Yeah,
he comes to the ring.
He's like Mick Foley. He's got like 30 different characters.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But in the end, much like Westworld, you find out that he was actually the black guy because he's artificial intelligence Stephen Root. Changing personalities by the minute through all of his 250 IMDb characters.
Stephen Root is Sacco. So, as you call it, and like Liam said, this is the Geeked Up podcast. So, of course, we're both doing Stephen Root celebrities, except I'm going to pull a wild card this time. I'm not doing Stephen Root as my celebrity. And I might not even do, it's a celebrity to you, the listeners, all right? Because I want to make a young kid's dream come true, all right? Now, Liam, I forgot your name was Luscious Liam Whalen. But instead, I have your origin story.
Your story for me?
You don't want to become a wrestler. I have young Mr. Social Distance, all right? Your wrestling name is, like I always bring you on, is Mr. Social Distance, all right? The germaphobe. So here we go. Young Liam was a dirty little fat kid from New Jersey who loved germs, okay? He would play in the mud, he would not wash his hands, and he would eat his pizza with his hands and fingers, not with a fork and knife like a fucking psychopath, all right?
Never.
Now also, young Liam's best friends were three Japanese brothers who were obsessed with wrestling, whose names were Yo, Yo, and Yo, okay? Now, suddenly, when the three Yos were struck down by a mysterious illness, it changed young Liam, making him a paranoid germ freak and never getting close to anyone, thus becoming Mr. Social Distance.
Yo, yo, yo!
Now, Mr. Social Distance wanted to honor his fallen friends, so he trained, lost weight, and became a professional wrestler named Mr. Social Distance. His gimmick was he would always wear a mask, scream yo, yo, yo at the beginning of every match to honor his friends. He would keep distance from his opponents, let's say 6 feet. And
you can't pin me if you can't get near me.
He would squirt hand sanitizer in their eyes and all over the ring, making his opponents slip out of the ring and not be able to crawl back into the ring. They would be disqualified. Now, Mr. Social Distance won a lot of matches like this. He won a few Slammies. And he decided one day that maybe he was being a little too paranoid and decided to wrestle someone legitly by pinning them and winning that way. Taking off his mask, Mr. Social Distance, now leave again, turn to the crowd, taking in a huge breath to taste and smell his success. A week later, he died of COVID.
I mean, I don't love the ending. I love the origin story, not the destination. But
so
I was doing so good in Coronaville Protocol.
It's a one-season show because he's dead.
It's a mini-series. He dies of COVID the second he takes his mask off.
I mean, I'm feeling more Oscar-winning film right there. I mean, that's 2.5 hours of drama. We're gonna get Scorsese to direct. And that's going to be an Oscar winner right there.
That one's to you, Lee. I wanted you to fulfill your wrestling dream.
Yeah, I mean, hailing from Coronaville.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, Luscious Liam Whalen never did materialize. I never had the balls to take it to go to Bayonne, New Jersey, and enroll in professional wrestling school. So I guess I can't really, I can't really fight the Coronaville Big LW. What did you? Oh, Mister, I can't really fight social distance Big LW with Luscious Liam Whalen. So I got to give you that one.
Plus, I gave the Yo-Yo Yellen origin story too, dogs.
That's true. You've got really covered my whole backstory. Like you said, quite the honor. And I hope Vince McMahon is listening because this one's ready for Mania right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'd say that would be my nomination for my wrestling character for the fans to vote on. So I guess now we're all gonna choose one of our own for the fans to vote on, or
yeah, I mean, let's break this down.
Or are we gonna nominate some other people's, or? Because I gotta be honest, I like the Gangrel. I feel like that's definite franchise territory, like we said.
Yeah,
crossover potential with the Edge, especially the Edge is back. Isn't he in Mania this year? Headlining Mania?
Yeah, Edge returned in January of last year for the first time since 2011, and yeah, he'll be fighting for the Universal title in Triple Threat.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So I mean, we can get Gangrel sneaking back into Mania. You know, a little.
Yeah, we could boost his career. We'll give him a rock style show. I like Young Gangrel also. Either that or Young Val.
Yeah, Val Venus was like I don't think I ever bought a Venus Envy shirt, but I was a huge fan of Val Venus for sure. There was just so many other great characters in the '90s, but he would have been he was one of my all-time fave, like, you know, jobber kind of guys.
He's a fun Twitter follower if you want to see someone who's like really like political and crazy.
Okay, nice. Is he like a Trump nut?
I don't remember. I stopped following him, so I just know he was nuts.
I get it. I'm friends with Gallagher on Facebook, and he's fucking. I mean, I don't know how I snuck into his actual like personal page, but it is fucking gold, dude. This guy is a fucking grade A psycho.
Oh yeah, no, Gallagher's long since lost it.
Yeah.
Gallagher would be a great celebrity crossover.
You'll get people in there too who don't know that he's bonkers, and they'll be like,
you just remember him from like the
one lady from like the 70s or 80s, be like, "Hey, Gallagher was always a fan. Just want to say hi." And he was like, "Well, you're a crazy bitch, and I'll kill your family. You know, you're on black from my page." It's like, oh, dude, this guy's bonkers. It's the best.
Nice.
But yeah, I say from Jordan's list, we go Young Gangrel.
Yes. I mean, I'd say for my list, I go for yours because I don't know if any of my, or at least my origin story.
For your list, I would say Surfer Sting all day.
We're taking Surfer because then we can also
I was charmed by Brawler's story. I was charmed by the Brawler's story.
I do like Brooklyn Brawler. It's like the Captain America story if he never got the super soldier serum. He just always got beat up forever.
Yeah.
Both from Brooklyn.
I feel like that one's a little bit of a bummer. The Surfer Sting's a little bit more uplifting. As well does have a late season potential because we can always get in to the guy that watched The Crow and really dig into like by season 6 we can get into the Sting is actually still wrestling as well. I think I saw. Isn't Sting like currently in AEW?
He debuted for AEW. They did since the pandemic. They debuted a new concept called the cinematic match, where it's all post edited, almost like a movie fight.
Yeah, I talked about that at last year's Mania. I told Devin about how cool the Undertaker match was with that.
Yeah.
Every time you guys say that, dude, I think you're talking about root beer. Old A&W.
But
Hey,
and then how about
all
for you, Devin? I'd say for you, I'm voting for me. Although you had a couple other, solid wrestler origin stories as well. Because Doink and Dink, you don't even remember. You didn't even know in Survival Series there was also Pink and Stink, 2 more midget Doinks that wrestled with him as a group.
And Hornswoggle.
And yes, exactly. We can unmask Dink and.
But I got to go, you started off in backyard wrestling as luscious Liam Whalen, but you really made your big name as Mr. Social Distance, the COVID.
The COVID kid. We really did take over Coronaville, And
I'm going with Mr. Social Distance. I want you to win the title.
And for every Triple H, there was a China. And you can be right there next to me, buddy. Me and you.
Hold on, dude. I made your character. I'll break that character. You'll be Hornswoggle 2.0 if you don't know what's good for you, buddy.
I'll get hornswoggled.
So I guess those are our runner-ups then. So going into the ring, they're dropping the cage. Only one man leaves. I don't know how fucking WrestleMania works. But we got Young Gangrel, we got Surfer Sting, and we got Liam himself, Mr. Social Distance.
I'm going to be very fucking disappointed if you assholes vote for Sting or Gangrel, by the way. If I don't win this if I don't win this one, which would, of course, be a win for Devin, but definitely let us know what you think. And, of course, as always, bonus geeked points if you send us in your own wrestling origin story. Pick any wrestler. Give us an origin story. Give us an origin story, Young Rock style.
Yes, exactly.
One that was a good one, actually, just real quick, that I thought you might go with, Devin, was the...
Young Coco Beware.
That was one that I was thinking about, actually. But a young Vader, just because his backstory was somewhat covered on Boy Meets World, where we found out that Sean from Boy Meets World's dad was actually Vader. So I was like, this could be a major, geeked crossover.
It's not Sean's dad.
Corey's dad.
Which one?
No. Ethan Suplee's character. It's his side character. One of the bullies, that's his dad.
Was it one of the bullies' dads, or wasn't it Sean?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like
from,
Corey's best friend?
You're right.
Sean's dad is, he's in it a lot. Like, he runs away to find the mom.
Okay,
and
I
comes
see.
back. You know who Sean's dad is.
Okay. But he was somebody's dad on the show. He was on fucking Boy Meets World as somebody's dad
Yes,
anyway.
Ethan Suplee, who was...
Yeah, the guy from American History X.
Yes, the heavyset bully.
Oh, yes, you're right. He was
And
that
Mallrats.
dude's dad.
Ethan Suplee looks like he could be WWE World Champion. Ethan Suplee is...
Not anymore. Now he looks like fucking Al Roker. Oh, you're talking about now.
No, Ethan Suplee right now, 2021, is jacked to the gills like he's about to
No
go...
way. That guy had such a great career going. Is he, now that he's not the big guy, is it not going so well? Is he,
I don't know what I hate more, is that Ethan Suplee is all ripped or that Kumal New Jambi is. I feel more uncomfortable with Kumal. Either way, I don't like that he's working out.
They all went Carrot Top on us, those fuckers, but...
Yeah, right.
But definitely send us in an origin story of your own as well, or let us know which one of ours was your favorite.
And of course, the email there is thegeekeduppodcast@gmail.com, or just leave us a message on Facebook. Shoot us a tweet. It would be our first. But yeah, that's all the ways you get a hold of us. Of course, check out all the stuff Jordan's doing. And Jordan, if you want to plug any of that again.
Yeah, Jordan, let us know what you got again. Give us the big rundown.
All right, so I got 3 YouTube channels for you. Real Pro Wrestling, that's the company I help run here in Fort Myers, Florida. We're live Friday at noon in Tampa, Sunday at 1 p.m. in Fort Myers. And of course, you can find that on YouTube and Facebook, all the video footage. The Piersco channel, movie trivia, weekly podcast, a show about shows where we review movies, TV of the week, do a top 10 of some sort, as well as movie trivia. And then the Pierce Wrestling channel, wrestling trivia, wrestling podcasts, exclusive wrestling matches, and also She-Hulk. Thank you.
And also, if you can back catalog the She-Hulk video.